Scott, give us a market update, news, anything you want to report on Oahu. What's happened? You've been away for this is about 4 weeks now, actually, since the last time that we saw you. What's going on Oahu, Scott?
Yeah, when I got back, there was a really nice south swell. That thing was probably one of the bigger south swells I've seen in a while. It woke up a
It's
lot of
huge.
the surf breaks that you only see on rare occasions. So it was really neat when I was walking up on top, up one of the ridges and whatnot. Look down, you could just see all the lines out on the water. It was awesome. As far as the market goes, it's crazy. I mean, it's interest rates are up like around 5.5%, which starts to put a significant impact on affordability as prices continue to go. But I poured through the numbers that came out the other day, and I'm not seeing the slowdown. I mean, I'm feeling it a little bit. There's less people, but I just put an offer in Kailua where, 6 months ago I would have expected, 20 offers on it. We were competing with 10. So there's still a large number of buyers in the market, and none of the numbers have changed. Months of inventory hadn't changed. Our list to sales price ratio for single family homes they're still selling at 102% list to sales price ratio. Our median price on single family homes is 1.1 right now, and condos is 510,000. But the big shift we should start to see is to the condo side, because as borrowing money gets to be more expensive and prices continue to go like they have, people are going to shift to those more affordable options, which are going to be the condos. And now, as we see the Japanese buyers coming back as well, they're going to go more to condos. So condo market's definitely heated up. We're at 13%, up 13% this year to date for condo prices. So I haven't seen a whole lot slowing down. I do expect it to, just because interest rates, what they're doing, that's just going to eat into affordability. But
It's going to be
hadn't
interesting to kind
happened.
of see what the effect is going to be of that. So your prediction, Scott, you're kind of forecasting that there's going to be more movement in the condo market because the higher interest rates are forcing sort of invisible price increases, and therefore people will shift. Uh,
Yep.
Be interesting to kind of see what's going to happen if the market's going to, if there, how much of a slowdown. Again, it's not enough of a slowdown. You only had 10 people showing up instead of 20. Hey, awesome. uh, but so that before we go to you, Heidi, we got a quick question from Tom. When they say median price, is that of ones on the market or that have sold, or a general estimate? That's a great question. Scott, you want to hit the one real quick? What they mean when they say median prices? The ones that have sold median price, on the market median price. What does they mean?
Yeah, it's of the ones that have sold.
Sold. There you
Yep.
go. So there you go, Tom. Ones that have sold. Patrick's going to take the rental. Patrick, hurry up, buddy, because they're gonna sell quick. I mean, not sell. They're going to rent out quick. And Kinaya, aloha from Austin. Welcome, Kinaya. Kinaya is one of our first Islander alumni. And she is making Hawaii, going to put Hawaii in her future. I know it, Kinaya. I'm looking forward to it. Heidi, give us the what's up in Maui. What's new? Did you guys get shocked by the hotel price you're going to be renting on Kauai? What's going on?
Well, Peter, you mentioned the median price. The latest stats for Maui was 1.24425 for a single family home, and condo median price, the latest stats show 815,000. So half the properties sold higher than that, half the properties sold lower than that. It's just kind of a general indication of where the pricing is. There are definitely less properties selling now than there were a year ago. But if you look at the levels historically, there's still more closings now than any time between 2010 and 2020. So it's still a pretty busy market. In Maui County as a whole, we have 149 condos for sale. There are about 326 under contract. For single family homes, there's 183 for sale. There's 194 under contract. So the market's moving. We are seeing, a bit of a shift as far as some buyers are more cautious or cognizant of the interest rates, but because the inventory is so low, there's plenty of buyers for the inventory we have. So we're not seeing any change. And it's just, every situation's different. Some listings you have to go in, 150,000 higher and you still might get it. And then some other listings you're able to negotiate on. And we are seeing some price reductions now, which we haven't seen for a while, but it's not really because prices are going down. I think it's just sellers have been pricing properties higher and higher and higher. So sometimes they'll have to adjust.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting kind of track. It's been fun to kind of, now that we've had some time on the show, we're I mean, second year or something like that, right? To kind of see things kind of change over time and kind of see these predictions come forward and kind of see the market changes. So this is going to be another switch in the market. So Ray is with us. Ray, love you, man. Ray is Islander Ohana alumni, lives in Hawaii, and just the nicest, greatest guy. I'm so glad, Ray, that you're a part of what we're doing over here. Welcome back, Ray. Dylan, give us the Big Island update, man. What's happening? What's the market like? Any news? Anything you want to report on?
Well, so since you mentioned it, I have to comment on the tax relief bullet, right? So politicians love to, in a re-election year, say we've provided tax relief to people, and if you don't look at the actual numbers and what that actually means, you can be misled. So that there is across the board, they're proposing a reduction in the property taxes across the board, except for the residential rate, which is kind of the second homeowner vacation rental rate that you pay, but it's minuscule. So it looks like, with the way they list property taxes, they're going from $6.15 per thousand to $6.10. But if you calculate that into a percentage, we're talking about less than 0.5%. And what it translates into is if you have, say you have an $800,000 house, right, kind of average house in Kona, you're talking about a $40 decrease in your property taxes for the year. So
big tax break. What relief?
Huge tax break. So that is a 0.08% decrease in your taxes, but when property values have gone up 10+%, the county's making out pretty good in terms of their tax revenue. So
that's so funny. You're right. Yeah, so my property value has gone up by 20%.
But you reduced my taxes by 0.08, so I should re-elect you. There you go. That's a short story.
Okay, how's the market? How's the rest of how's the market doing on? How crazy is it? How many? We should have had a bananas rating. Is it a 4 bananas market? Is it a 5 bananas market or a 1 banana market? How many bananas? I mean, what's going on with
it's been pretty steady the last few months in terms of, we're seeing less units sell than a year ago, because a year ago we were in the frenzy, April, the summer of last year was insane, but we're still seeing the same kind of ratio of, like, right now there's 1,400 active properties on the market and 1,285 in escrow. So it's almost still that 1-to-1 number, where it was actually lopsided a year ago, where there was 1,600 in escrow and 1,500 on the market a year ago. So there's a little bit of an increase in the number of properties that are on the market versus what is under contract, but pretty much everything that's coming on the market is selling, and we're still at very low days on market. Almost the condo market is still over 100% final list of sold price. So it's been pretty consistent the last 4 or 5 months, and nothing dramatic's happened yet. But we are, just anecdotally, I am seeing properties sit a little bit longer. Sellers are being really ridiculous on price more often, so that's what's causing those prices, those properties to stay put. But anything that's priced properly, you may not be getting 10 offers, but you're still going to get 3 or 4. So we're definitely seeing that demand decrease. But the interest rate thing, like Scott was talking about, that's going to take a little while. That's kind of new, but that's going to take a little while to catch up and affect the market. But we're already seeing, I've had I think 4 transactions in the last 30 days have to cancel because they were pre-qualified 3 or 4 months ago and have been shopping, and then now they get qualified, they get into escrow, and the loan officer reruns the numbers, and due to the interest rate, they're no longer qualified for the house that they were going to buy. So It can decrease, it can decrease on the lower end market, maybe under 600. It can decrease your buying power by 40 or 50,000. On the higher end market, a million and above, you're talking about an 80,000 plus decrease in your buying value between a 4.5 and a 5.5 or 6% interest rate. So it's significant what it changes your ability to buy. So the advice is, if you're shopping, make sure your files are updated with your loan officer and they're rerunning numbers based on the current rates, because it could change your situation significantly.
Oh, that's a really, really good point. Hey, folks, have any of you been experiencing this? Or if you're in the final stages of buying or pre-qualifying, have you kind of noticed a change? Do you have to go back to your bank? I'd be curious if anyone has anything experience that they want to share. Scott, you were shaking your head when Dylan was talking about some numbers. I think he was talking about the amount of listings on the market, and I saw you kind of like shaking your head on that. What's the same crazy stat, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we're at 475 homes active, 900 condos, so we're right there at 1,300, the same as the Big Island. And I think that's a little bit of why nothing's changed on Oahu yet. Is it's an indication that there were so many buyers in the market that you got to bleed through a lot of that. People still need homes, and they're going to continue to do that even as interest rates go up, until you kind of thin the herd out. But yeah, we still don't have the inventory over here, and I don't see it changing, because the interesting thing is as interest rates go up, even if someone's deciding to sell and they want to buy the same price home over here, if they had a mortgage that the interest rate was, say, 3% over here, they buy the same price over here, the mortgage interest rate's going to be higher when you trade to that new home. Your payment automatically goes up. So you actually may see more sellers sitting in place as rates increase, just because the cost to buy a different home will be more expensive and not worth it for them.
That's a really interesting point. It's creating an incentive. Because because the prices have increased, it's disincentivizing people from buying, which also means it disincentivizes certain people from selling. Because if you're going to buy the same price house, for example, or try to get some kind of an upgrade, you're going to pay more, which may further exacerbate the problem. This is going to be interesting to see how this all goes over here. There was something else that you guys you guys were starting to talk about offline, but just before we started the show, Scott, where you asked Dylan a question about the, I don't know if you wanted to follow up on that. You asked him a question about the condo price or something like that. I don't know if you wanted to follow up on that.
Oh yeah, I had somebody ask me the other day. They're thinking about Kona, a condo in Kona. What's kind of the low end threshold for condos in the Kona area?
Dylan, you're muted.
Mid 300s is what we're seeing for even studios and one bedrooms. So I mean, that's like bottom, and there's usually 1 or 2 or 3 on the market at any given time. So really, you should be looking like 4 to 6 right now on the Kona side.
So 400,000-600,000 for a condo.
So something small. Something small. I mean, if you want anything ocean front or ocean view, I mean, it's going to be 800 plus.
Forget about it. Forget about it. All right, cool. Well,